So there's one thing that people often notice when they visit the Netherlands, and that is curtains, or in fact, the lack of. So in this video we're going to talk about and discover why Dutch people generally don't close their curtains or don't have them. So not during the day, not at night. There have been dozens of explanations for that, such as Calvinism, showing off, the German occupation during the World War, and to let the sun in. And here we're going to finally figure out which one is really true, or at least what it started with. The Netherlands is a country known for its picturesque landscapes, tulip fields and intricate canal systems. And for another intriguing aspect, which is curtain-free homes. So for visitors and outsiders, it may seem peculiar that many Dutch households choose to not adorn their windows with curtains, blinds or other traditional window coverings for other cultures. But here it's pretty normal. This cultural phenomenon has actually sparked curiosity and debate. So here you will discover why many Dutchies prefer curtain-free living, basically. So drive, cycle or walk through any Dutch street, whether it's a city or a village, and you'll see that they have several things in common, which is symmetry in the windows, and the curtains are almost always open or not even there. Seems to be one of the first things that visitors from outside the Netherlands see, which is understandable if this is not standard practice where you're from. But I do need to tell you something before we continue and dive deeper. Please know that standing in front of one's house or windows and staring inside their home is still creepy here. You can just walk past the house and have a quick look or have a look inside, but it's still creepy to stand there staring inside someone's house for a while. That's just, psycho behavior. It is said that there are several reasons as to why we don't generally use curtains, and I will discuss them one by one, and by the end you'll know the truth about our open curtains in the Netherlands. Here is reason number one that people often say: the Second World War. So during the Second World War, the Netherlands was occupied by Germany from roughly the 10th of May 1940 until the 11th of June 1945, when the last German troops were arrested by Canadian troops on the island of Schiermonnikoog. During the occupation there were tons of restrictions on light. The German occupiers created dozens of blackout rules. The reason for that was to prevent the Allied forces so that the bomber airplanes couldn't reach Germany or could drop materials, which was mostly done in the middle of the night, as German anti-aircraft guns had trouble taking the Allied bombers out then. The restrictions meant that citizens were forced to let no light escape from their house, which was checked by a special air protection service. It could be done by thick curtains, black paint or paper. If they saw just a tiny little bit of light coming from the house, you would be fined. Besides your house, street lights weren't lit anymore. Cars and bikes could only have a small light, which obviously resulted in many accidents. Fun fact, there are still several houses in Amsterdam where they have painted huge numbers on the walls, so this made it easier to find their homes in the dark. After the Netherlands was liberated, Dutch people could open their curtains again and choose their own window decorations again. But this is not the reason why our curtains are often open. Though it wouldn't surprise me if especially the elderly generation has some memories of that and might think that, and might do it because of that. But it's not the general reason as to why it started. So reason number two, Calvinism. An important part of the tradition of Calvinism is being an honest civilian that doesn't have anything to hide. Closing your curtains means you have something to hide. When you let people have a quick look in your home, you will show them that you're an open person that has nothing to hide and that doesn't do any shady business. Though it sounds like a logical explanation, it's also not the reason why we do this either, even though it's often named as the main reason. Reason number three, the lack of daylight and sun, and love for natural light. The Netherlands is a country that, especially during autumn and winter months, severely lacks light. Though the country is dry 92% of the time, clouds are definitely a recurring event. Many people think it rains a lot in the Netherlands, but it is said that there is some form of rain 192 days a year. Now I know that sounds like a lot, but there are days that have at least like 0.3 millimeters of rain, and it very rarely rains the entire day in the Netherlands. So if you're visiting the Netherlands and the weather forecast says it's going to rain, the chances are that it's just a little bit somewhere on a day. While we are known for the gloomy weather, especially in autumn and winter, when the sun is there, we tend to make the most of it. So why not keep the curtains open so we can finally let in the rays of sunshine that we longed for? Unfortunately, this is also not the main reason as to why it started, but a lot of Dutch people do really love natural light, me included, so it's definitely a small reason, especially today, because we don't really think about the main reason why it was introduced. So nowadays it's a lot because of light, but yeah, not the main reason as to why having open curtains is so ingrained in Dutch culture. Reason number 4, minimalism and simplicity. It is often said that Dutch people have an affinity for minimalism and simplicity, both in the design, aesthetics and daily lives. The absence of curtains aligns with this desire for clean lives, uncluttered spaces and a sense of openness. So without curtains, rooms appear more spacious and the focus is shifted to creating a visually pleasing environment. At least that is what people are saying. In reality, it doesn't have much to do with the curtains being open at all. Don't believe everything you read. Reason number 5, our connection with the outdoors. So the Netherlands isn't exactly known for its beautiful nature, but we do have a lot of stunning nature though, so please visit a nature reserve when you visit. But it is said that we love to connect with nature no matter what the weather, which is partly true. So we like to go uitwaaien or out blowing at the beach when it storms to get some fresh air for our brains. Yeah, it's a thing. Special word for it. People say that by omitting curtains, us Dutchies create an unobstructed view of the outside world, allowing us to remain connected with our surroundings even when indoors. Whether it's enjoying the sight of blooming flowers, watching people pass by, or taking in the beauty of canals, Dutch homes embrace the idea of bringing the outside in. It sounds all nice and stuff, and I do love watching the outdoors from the window, a bit too much sometimes, but it's definitely not the reason as to why our curtains are open. Reason number 6 is said to be energy efficiency. So people say that we prioritize energy efficiency in our homes with our curtains being open and not even being there. By allowing the natural light to illuminate the interiors, we reduce the need for artificial lighting during the day, resulting in lower energy consumption. It is said that this eco-conscious approach aligns with the Dutch commitment to a greener lifestyle, but honestly, no. I don't know who thought of this, but no. I guess we like things to be efficient as it costs less money and is more green, but most people won't think about it. Reason 7. Showing off. So in Dutch we have a saying, doe maar normaal, dan doe je al gek genoeg, or basically, act normal and you're already acting crazy enough. That also means that we do not tend to show off much with fancy stuff. Instead, we're very proud when we got an absolute steal. You might want to compliment a Dutch person on this shirt and they would say, thanks, I got it for only 6 euros at H&M. And the not showing off part of Dutch society means that we need to find some other ways to show off. So historians actually say that one of the main reasons for Dutch people to have their curtains open is to show off. And that isn't something that people nowadays do because they're like, I want people to see this and this. No, the thing is that nowadays it's so ingrained in our brains to have our curtains open that the showing off reason is not generally there anymore, but it was the reason as to why it started. So as the standard of living constantly increased in the centuries, the materials and interiors of people's houses also turned to be a bit more luxurious and opulent. So centuries ago, people used to open their curtains to show off their house that was filled with the most beautiful furniture, art and decorations, sometimes even so that merchants could show that they were trustworthy or just filthy rich, which obviously meant that they did good business. So in the 16th century, curtains were a status symbol and way too valuable to hang in front of a window. So fabrics like velvet and brocade had to be imported from Italy or the Middle East, for instance. Textile was used to impress. At that time, curtains were often hanging around show beds that were found in the guest areas because, you need to show off for the guests. And in the 17th century, curtains were a showpiece in a house. It easily showed which class the inhabitants belonged to. So at that time, curtains were also found in front of windows. It's not all windows often, but mostly the windows in the front part of the house on the ground floor, as well as all over the interior. So you could see curtains on the walls, along doors, along the bed, and much more. So the Dutch economy did very well for the wealthy people until the disaster year of 1672. So this meant that both the nobility and rich civilians could afford rare and expensive fabrics like silk, and they wanted to show that. So that is the reason as to why wealthy Dutch people started to hang curtains along their windows in their most beautiful rooms, according to historian Tera Wijzenbeek-Olthuis. So these curtains weren't meant to be closed, but to showcase the interior. cultural anthropologist Irene Sierath, who is connected to the University of Delft, also has almost the same explanation, and she describes the trends of curtains in the Netherlands throughout the centuries. She said that the reasoning is the fact that glass windows became standard. The look of candlelight against the glass didn't give a cozy feel at night, which is why curtains were placed around the windows. So these curtains weren't the same as the ones you would see in bedrooms. They were simple and straight, and that was until the end of the 17th and 18th century. That is when the curtains at the window side got more creative. There were elegant curtains with drapery and plumes. And in the second half of the 18th century and the beginning of the 19th century, excavations in Pompeii and Herculaneum influenced the curtain fashion. So it was now often made from light fabrics like silk, satin or cotton. And then we've reached the 19th century. The Netherlands went wild with curtains. The Industrial Revolution created an abundance of textile. Large houses had curtains everywhere, and even several layers of curtains. This was a beautiful sight, especially at night, and it's a trend that continued until the middle of the 20th century. Then, textile became less important at the end of the 1940s. The interior had to be light and airy, and windows had to be completely free. And we got something called vitrage and lamellen or slats in front of windows. But one thing was never changed, and that was that they were left open. In the 1980s, curtains with pleats were seen as old-fashioned, and the real cool guys of the time had no curtains or got plastic slats. But in the 1990s, the curtain made its return and has stayed ever since. But opened up, of course, so everyone can admire your house for a quick second. But yeah, like I said, showing off is the reasoning as to why it all started. It's not a reason why most Dutch people do it nowadays, but because it's so ingrained into our brains, it's the reason.